Welcome to Allie and Christian Code, the show where passion meets expertise in the world of software engineering. I'm Allie, a former healthcare provider turned software developer.
And I'm Christian, an experienced software engineer. We are here to share our learnings together as we find collaboration is better than going alone. Hello, right. We are going to take a look at playing around with some AI tools. How might we leverage OpenAI and other similar things in our applications?
Mhm.
I think we can start out with a right out of the box Blazor website. I'm going to screen share to show that code base. All right, I have this AI playground project that I've started that is just the uh, starting point of a Blazor page that gives us these existing pages to start with. And I have not really changed anything else about it. But if I click the run button, it will start up and it will show that page, that website with the counter, with the home page, with the weather. Very
I
nice
love this.
how easy it is to get started.
Yes, just the easiest way to get spun up on something so fast.
Yeah. So we want to add something to this or change something to this to allow us to call an AI tool, an OpenAI or something like that. Do we create something new or repurpose one of the existing?
Let's repurpose a page. Let's
Okay.
go to the counter page and see what we can do there.
Okay. Counter has a number and a button. I'm envisioning like we're going to need some sort of text box or
Hmm.
two and a submit button and a place for
Yep.
the response to get displayed. This seems
Hmm.
like a great starting point. We look at that counter page. That is what we have going on here. It's the counter route. It's an interactive server page. It has a title, some header stuff, and a count and a button. Okay, so let's stop running and focus on what we're going to add. Let's change this to AI chat.
Hmm.
Let's change this to be our response.
Mm.
And we'll change this as well.
To match
Instead
up.
of an
Hmm.
integer, I will expect we will be getting string results from whatever we call,
Hmm.
whatever we want to display.
Perfect.
Let's keep the button. We can keep the click me. We'll rename the click method to ask the AI.
Perfect.
Okay. We're going to want to add some text boxes so that we can type into our chat.
Hmm. Some sort of prompt or question.
We want to go above or below the response.
I always like it above.
Okay.
Like unless you want like a really long prompt.
Create a label that says question and a text area. And this is going to be bind, bind and question.
Hmm. I do think it is bind.
I believe that could get us what we need. We can test it out here pretty quickly as well.
Hmm.
code. All right, so if that's correct, we should be able to see our text area, type
Mm-hmm.
into it, hit the button, and see the response get updated to the question plus the word test.
Yes.
Let's give that a go and see how it's going.
I do like that new spinner they have. There we go.
And looks like we're good there. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And if we had a lot of room or a lot of text, we could expand that out. All right, perfect. So next we need to actually do something, call an AI and do something with the question.
Yes.
So we can start by taking a look at the OpenAI API reference.
Mm-hmm.
This talks you through what you need to do to get set up.
Mm-hmm.
You need to do HTTP calls, and then it talks you through authenticating. They don't just let anybody run any query against it because that would be pretty expensive for them, and they want to
Yeah.
limit that and make sure that people aren't abusing the system. So
Mm-hmm.
they provide you with API keys that can be used to prove that it's you and allow you access to their system.
Mm-hmm.
So they show you how to go about doing that. And then they have multiple different endpoints and different ways that you can make data calls and how you would pass that API key plus your questions or whatever you were asking the
Mm-hmm.
system to do.
Yep.
And we could do something like this and we could take that and we could put that in and do it directly.
Mm-hmm.
But in
That feels
.NET,
kind of
there's,
messy, though.
yeah, exactly. In .NET, there's usually an easier way. And in most systems, most languages, there are other tools that you can leverage. So
Mm-hmm.
we're going to take a look at the .NET tool, which is called NuGet. And we're going to see if there are any NuGet packages that will help us out. And of course,
Yeah.
there are.
There are.
There's an official one. And as you can see, there's also quite a few other ones,
Yeah.
including some from Microsoft with Azure directly.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look at the provided by OpenAI version
Mm-hmm.
we have over here. So getting started, it talks about the fact that it's going to use the REST API directly. You will need an API key.
Mm-hmm.
And it talks to you about being able to do the install through the NuGet system through the command line. We can also, back in our system, add it through this UI. So let's
Mm-hmm.
do that. That should be it.
I love a
And then
good
it
install button.
totally. And here it has a way for us to go ahead and set that up to make a call. Let's go ahead and just copy all of that over. Let's put that inside of our Ask the AI method. We'll need to move this
That you're
using
using in there.
statement up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, I had the wrong style of using for a Blazor page. It helps me out there.
There we go.
All right. So let's also not just copy and paste without having any sense of what it's doing. And here we
What?
see that it's creating a client using some parameters,
Mm-hmm.
telling it what model that the chat client should use,
Mhm. Because it's got a
and
couple
being
different models
able,
available.
exactly. And those will change over time, I'm sure.
Mhm. Yeah, no doubt.
And it's looking to get the OpenAPI key out of the environment. For now, I've got mine in the secrets file that we can see has been changed over here.
Mhm.
I'll go ahead and populate that there instead.
Perfect. Because those keys are not things that you want to share or put out publicly on GitHub. Those are your private keys. So, not a good idea to share those widely.
Absolutely. So this should set us up good. And then we've got our completion. It's calling complete chat, and we're asking it to say this is a test.
Mhm.
What other methods do we have on the client? Complete chat async, streaming. Looks like that's about it. Okay.
Yep.
So if we do that, it should return this as a test. It's doing
Mhm.
a console write line here. We can go ahead and append that. Actually, we'll just put that in as the response
I
at
think
this
just put it
point.
as a response. Yeah.
Dot content.
Mhm.
Dot
Yes.
excellent. So now we should see it in both spots, the console and
And our
on the
response
screen.
area. Hmm.
See how that goes for us.
Let's do it.
Oh, an unhandled error has occurred. Okay.
Oh, sad.
The model GPT-4o does not exist, or you do not have access to it. Okay,
Oh,
interesting.
all right.
All right, so I've updated with a new correct secret key so that we can try this again.
We figured out after some tinkering that our key was not specific enough. Our key was for a different functionality, and we thought it was an umbrella key, but it's not. So learn
Yeah,
from our mistakes.
apparently the business has lots of different ways they will take money from you. Who knew?
So make sure you get a key specific to what it is you would like to do.
All right, so I've got that running. We're gonna hop over
See
to
if
our
it.
browser and try this again. So I would expect that I can type in anything and get a response that follows what I asked, which is to tell it,
Nice.
say this is a test, and the response is this is a test. Excellent. Interesting. I see the message I asked it was to be lowercase and it uppercased it for me,
Oh,
which is fine, but interesting.
very fancy. Okay.
All right, so next, that's not very useful. We
No.
want to actually have what the user types in sent along. So let's update.
Yes.
And here we can use our question
Hmm.
property that we are wiring up to that text area and pass that along. So recall it's a string and it is bound through the text area using the @bind attribute.
Hmm. We'll get that updated value.
So now if we go ahead and run, I've got a question I'm going to paste in for us. And that's a
Ooh.
little small to see. Might stretch it out a little bit. I'm asking it to give me a math problem to use as part of a student's lesson plan. So just a high level generic um, ask. Let's
Hmm.
see what it gives back as a response. Clicked, takes a minute here. There we go.
Oh gosh, look at that response.
This is a math problem suitable for middle school students. It says right up front. That's nice.
Hmm. Okay, helpful.
Talking about marbles and
Hmm.
groups. Had some questions. It's kind of hard to
I know,
read
hard
at
to
the
read.
moment. There's no formatting in how we're displaying it.
Yes,
That's definitely something we might want to improve upon.
most definitely. But
Before
first
then,
step,
let's take,
get it working.
yes, yes, absolutely. No sense in worrying about styling when it doesn't work. So before we go further down that road, let's take a look at how can we adjust this AI chat to
Hmm.
know more about us or have pre-knowledge of the users that we're expecting to be in the system or whatever might be
Yes.
helpful to shape its
Hmm.
responses more than just this generic let the user ask any
Middle
question.
school students with marbles.
Right. So you'll recall that we're using an SDK provided
Hmm.
for us. One thing we should be able to do is I'm going to hit, or I could choose to hit F12. I can also click right click and have it go to F12, go to declarations or usages here.
Hmm. See what's included there.
And this is the code as it is understood by the tool of writer. It's not actually like knowing their true source code, but it's able to figure out from that package the general idea of what's in this code.
Mhm.
So we're able to see that we're calling the complete chat method, and it allows us to send in an array of chat messages. I'm going to hit F12 there,
Mhm.
and we're going to go take a look at this class and see what it has on it and what we can
What
do
our
with it.
options are. Mhm.
Absolutely. I see that it's got a enum of a role type. So I'm curious what that is because so far we just sent it a string and it
Mhm.
took it. What kind of roles might it know about or care about? It says it has a system
Member
role
roles?
which provides instructions to guide the behavior of future messages. That sounds helpful.
Definitely.
User role is input provided by the user. Makes sense.
Seems straightforward.
Assistant role provides output that either issues completions in response to the user messages or calls to tools and functions. And then it also has tools and functions which you can use to make even further customizations.
Mhm.
All right, excellent. So we
Okay.
know what different roles are available to us. We're going to
Mhm.
back out here and then we're going to see if we can figure out what to do with those.
What
This
else?
says
Yeah.
here it's internal, and that means we won't be able to directly do anything with it.
Mhm.
I'm going to scroll through, see if I can find some public methods. We have content.
Mhm.
Here's another public. It's in the system chat message. It says
System
create
chat.
a system message. So we saw that we had a system role, but no
Mhm.
way to set that role. So I'm going to
Mhm.
assume that using this method will take what
Set
it's
that role.
given and set that role for us.
Mhm. Seems
Let's
like a
see
fair
what we,
assumption.
yeah, let's see what we can do if we now back out and try to utilize that in our code.
Mhm.
I'm going to take away our question for now.
Mhm.
I'm going to do a chat message create system message. And then this wants a string. So I'm going to use a new free prompt that I have set up for us to give the system a little more context before asking a question.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll take a look at what that does here in just a second. Go. And then I'm going to make a change for using the user message to pass along our questions so that we're
Mm.
still getting that from the web page.
Our text area. Mm-hmm.
So our system message tells the AI that we are a first grade teacher and building a
Mm.
lesson plan for our students. We want to create a math plan that will challenge our students and teach them the basics that are appropriate for a first grader.
Mm. Got it. So not middle school marbles.
It should, I would hope, drastically change the response that we get,
We'll see how smart this AI is.
but we will find out.
Put our question back in.
Same question as before,
Mm-hmm.
but now we're giving it this extra context. And here we get back. It talks about first graders.
Yay!
Sarah has some apples. Jake has more apples, so yes, more
Seems more
appropriate for
appropriate.
that level. Excellent.
Nice.
And then just for the sake of wrapping up and verifying, we're going to take another pre-prompt area or system message in this case, and we're going to see what kind of differences we get there.
Mm. Good.
So now we are a high school math teacher,
Mm.
and we're doing the same of lesson plan, but we want to aim it at seniors and challenge them and prepare them specifically for standardized tests. So
Love it.
you can envision this again to make a drastic difference in what kind of response we get.
Hopefully so. Put our question in our very ugly text area.
Yes, yes, indeed. We definitely could use some styling improvements here.
Probably. Probably. But it's working, so step one.
Ooh, that one took quite a bit longer to generate, and holy moly, does it have a lot
Yeah.
of differences going on there.
A challenging math problem.
So there you go. Like this is one area where you can potentially help your users
Mm-hmm.
differently depending upon their context or your knowledge of who you're aiming at versus just a simple text question box to a chat bot or to a chat AI of some sort.
Mm-hmm. Get much more meaningful answers much more quickly.
And you can imagine too, you could give the system a whole lot of extra data to really
Yeah.
give it way more specific so what you care about.
Mm-hmm.
You could even presumably like take information that you know about your users already. Like if you were writing this tool for teachers, you would already know they're first graders or that they teach math or that they teach reading
Mm-hmm.
or things like that. And they might even be able to like learn over time by saying like, oh, I didn't like this response. Oh, I didn't like that question. And they
Mm-hmm.
feed that into the system as well to give it
Really be
more.
able to train that easily. Mm-hmm.
All right. I think that probably wraps us up for today.
Love it. We've definitely got some more work to do to make this a little prettier, make this a little more readable, all those kinds of things. But that basic functionality was pretty quick and easy to get set up once you have the right materials to work with. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe.